Welcome to the Stuttgart Reds ballpark and Reds TV. It's beautiful outside, so come on down. See the new Reds ballpark and support your Reds. And of course, if you can't make it today, tomorrow, game 2 of the doubleheader starts at 1 o'clock. Weather tomorrow is supposed to be even nicer than the weather today. My name is Ken Hudson, the voice of Reds TV. With me is the CEO of Reds TV, the master of disaster, and the world's worst superhero, Yara Drobny. We have figured out a couple of his superpowers. He has a blank stare, and he's able to block 2 complete countries in a single stream. Unfortunately, if I sound lousy today, it's all Rainer Loke's fault. He can't be with us today. If you have questions, comments, words of wisdom, or you just want to shout out, we have a chat function open on Reds TV. We are under YouTube, and Yara will get actually a positive superpower if we get 1,000 people subscribing by the end of the season, so subscribe. Umpires for today's game behind the plate, Patrick Meister. Wolfram Haupt will be at first base, Ilyar Chan at third base. Today's opponent is the Mannheim Tornadoes. They're struggling just like your hometown Stuttgart Reds. Mannheim, only 1 win in 15 games, a record 1-14. Stuttgart, 5-7, of course, 7 straight losses. In their first meeting, Stuttgart was able to win the first game 16-5 and the second game 8-0. Of course, 1-14 is not typical for Mannheim, and I'm sure they're looking to get back on the track, as well as the Stuttgart team. Unfortunately, 4 games in Stuttgart and no wins. Starting lineup behind Jose Mendoza. Catching is Yannick Witt at first base. Moritz van Bergen. Second base is Janis Weber. At shortstop, Xavi Gonzalez. Third base is Danilo Weber. Left, center, and right, Jonas van Bergen, Benedict Schaefer, and Yannick Dentz. First batter for Mannheim, Matias Robles. He'll be followed by Jack Lombardi, Augustine Teixeira. Batting in the cleanup spot, Luis Diaz, followed by Marilyn Bendlin, Anderson Zambrano, Jonas Werner, Benjamin Kaiser, and batting ninth, Max Leonard. That first pitch, ball number 1. And that's strike number 1, 1-1 the count. And that off-speed pitch misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Key for Stuttgart in today's and tomorrow's game is to get their bats going. They have a batting average of .211 in the season. There's strike number 2. Pitching has been able to keep them in the game. Team ERA is 3.81, but batting average of .211 and only scoring 6 runs over their 7 losses isn't going to win very many games. That ball line foul. Nice little bunny rabbit hop by the first base umpire. Matrix moves. Gets out of the way. Count stays at 2-2. That ball in the dirt. Count is full. And a ground ball fielded by Mr. Reliable. Nice throw to first base for out number 1. 6-3 in the scorebook. That brings up Jack Lombardi. Jack hitting .222 so far this season. That pitch in there for strike number 1. Jose Mendoza, of course, pushed into the starter role with the injury to Junico Acosta. There's ball 1-1 to count. We were hoping to see Junico back, but apparently he's not ready yet. Jose, 2 games started, no complete games. He's got 18.1 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts against 7 walks, ERA of 4.91. There's strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That curveball misses up, 2-2. Looking to get a whole lot of oh yes for Jose today. That pitch high. Count is full. Second batter in a row. And that's low for ball number 4, walk. First base runner of the game for Mannheim brings up Augustine Teixeira. Augustine has a .216 batting average for the season. There's strike number 1. That pitch high. 1-1 to count. Two stolen bases on the season for Mr. Lombardi. Not a big threat to run, but you never know. 1-1 to count. There he goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down, not in time. Stolen base. Runner now in scoring position. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sierra is the power hitter for the Mannheim Tornadoes. 3 home runs so far this season. And that ball up the middle for a base hit. And takes a little bad bounce. No chance to get Lombardi at home plate. And with that single, Mannheim takes the lead 1-0. Brings up Luis Diaz. Lewis batting .227, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. And he chops that one, but it goes foul for strike number 1. And pick off not in time. The runner goes. Throw down. Too high into center field. Stolen base. Oh, it looks like the coach For the Tornadoes, is going to be aggressive on the base paths. Testing young catcher Yannick Witt's arm. 1-1 to count with 1 out and 1 on. And ball flied into left field. Long run for Jonas van Bergen, not able to get the ball. And another run across the board on the single from Luis Diaz, 2-0. Already 2 runs for the Mannheim Tornadoes. Of course, Jonas shading all the way towards center field on a left-handed batter. And first shout out of the day, shout out to Jonathan Schaefer, who's up in Bonn with the Länderpokal, which is going on this weekend. If I get any scores, I'll let you know. And a bunt attempt straight back. So a shout out to you, Jonathan. If you can give me any Baden-Württemberg scores, that would be nice. And a shout out to Angie, who's not at the ballpark tonight. That pitch high, ball number 1, 1-1 to count. Yeah, ball fouled. Marilyn Bendlin, the batter. His batting average this year, 182. He's DHing for the Tornadoes today. Oh, yeah! Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 1 for Jose Mendoza. Out number 2 for the Stuttgart Reds. And Anderson Zambrano up to bat. And runner goes, throw down. Not in time. Mannheim very aggressive. That's stolen base number 3. Already in the first inning. Jose Mendoza on the mound. Needs to do a little bit better to hold the runners on. Most steals are not on the catcher, but on the pitcher. And that pitch high for ball 1. 1-1 to count. That pitch low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball number 3. And Zambrano thought ball number 4. Umpire Patrick Meister thought strike number 2. So it's a full count. And ball hit high and deep, but not deep enough. Yannick Dentz camps under it, catches it for out number 3. Mannheim pushes 2 runs across the board on 2 hits. No errors, nobody left on. We will be right back with the bottom of the first inning. Hopefully the Reds can answer.
up and you're on your way. You make me feel so fine. Water sparkling on your skin, sugar laughing as we sing. Run around and round we go. Ooh, life, I love you so.
Pitching for the Mannheim Tornadoes, Bernini Engelhardt. So far, he's got 3 games started with a complete game. He is 0-2, 9 walks to 3 strikeouts. His ERA kind of high, 8.10, little over the team ERA of 7.47 for Mannheim. Catching him is Benjamin Kaiser at first base. Luis Diaz, longtime Mannheim Tornado. At second base, Anderson Zambrano. At shortstop, Jack Lombardi. Third base is Augustine Teixeira. Left, center, and right, Jonas Werner. Matias Robles and Max Leonard. Batting lineup for the Stuttgart Reds. Starting off, Mr. Reliable Xavi Gonzalez. He'll be followed by DH Daniel Abeles. Batting third, Danielo Weber, followed by Moritz van Bergen, Yannick Dentz, and Yannick Witt at 5 and 6, 7, 8, and 9, Benedict Schaefer, Jonas van Bergen, and Janis Weber. Xavi, 167, well low below his normal batting. See if he can get on track today. And first pitch is up high, ball number 1. That ball line foul, 1-1. Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch for strike number 2. And that pitch catches him on the shoulder. Oh, Stuttgart gets their first base runner on a hit by pitch. Mannheim, theirs was a walk. Brings up Daniel Abeles. Daniel's 282 batting average, one of the top on the team. He has 4 doubles so far on the season. Now he takes that pitch up high. And that's low and away, 2-0 the count. Of course, after looking at the statistics for Bernini Engelhardt, his big negative thing is walks. See if he can control his pitching. See if Stuttgart can hit his pitching. That ball popped up foul. But too far foul for Luis Diaz. It doesn't count if you catch it off the screen. 2 balls, 1 strike. And another foul ball straight back to 2-2 the count. And a shout out to Atlanta Picture Guy watching all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, we have beautiful weather. It's about 75 degrees, sun shining, light breeze going from left to right. And tomorrow's supposed to be even nicer. And that off-speed pitch catches David Oblis looking, strikeout for out number one. Brings up Danilo Weber. Batting average for the season so far for him, .270. Still waiting on his first home run for the season. 4 RBIs. And he takes that pitch outside. Ball number one. Again, beautiful weather today. Come out, support your Reds. If you can't make it today, come out tomorrow. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Runner's going, and it looks like a hit and run. And base hit. Of course, Xavi had to hold up on the line drive to make sure it wasn't caught. So he's not able to go any further than second base. Stuttgart threatening to score some runs, just like Mannheim did in the top of the first. And up to bat, Moritz von Bergen, batting average .281, and is the power hitter for the Stuttgart Reds. And 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. And he takes that pitch on the inside corner for strike number one. Be a good time for him to get home run number 3 and put the Reds in front. That pitch high, 1-1 to count. And there's ball number 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. And just a little bit low for ball number 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. We have 1 out and 2 runners on. And time called. And that ball misses inside for ball number 4. Bases loaded, 1 out. Yannick Dentz up to bat, .250 for the season. See if he can raise that here and get Stuttgart some runs. And he takes a mighty hack at the first pitch. Swing and a miss, strike number 1. That pitch misses low, 1-1. That pitch way high, 2-1 to count. As I said earlier, also this weekend in Bonn is the Länderpokal, the state all-star teams from all the states in Germany, including Baden-Württemberg, and I do know there's 6 junior or U18 players at that tournament. If I can get updates from my friend Jonathan Schaefer, who is up there, that would be wonderful. The tournament goes all the way through Monday. Stuttgart with 6 players, probably the largest contingent on the Baden-Württemberg All-Star team. That pitch catches the inside corner. Strike number 2, 2-2 to count. Ball foul out of play. Count remains 2-2. First meeting between these two teams. Stuttgart able to take 2 wins away. First game was 16-5. Stuttgart only needing 3 hits. 2 of them were home runs and a double to score 16 runs. Game 2 again, 8-0. Mannheim only 1 win. That pitch misses in. Very close. And a couple people walking into the dugout or into the bullpen for Mannheim. And another foul ball. It's his best BG's appointment. He's staying alive. And staying alive. Foul ball number 4. And a walk. Scores the first run for the Stuttgart Reds. Oh, time for crooked numbers. RBI, walk for Yannick Dents brings Xavi Gonzalez home. And 26,926,000 fans applauding Stuttgart's first run. Up to bat, number 6, catcher Yannick Witt. Yannick, 222 batting average. See if he can get some RBIs, get Stuttgart either tied or in the lead. And he takes the first pitch in there for a strike. That off-speed pitch bends into the strike zone. Quickly 0-2 the count. And a swing and a miss for strikeout out number 2. Benedict Schaefer stepping into the batter's box, 200 batting average. did have a grand slam home run in the first game against Mannheim. Yeah, great time to get the second one. And he takes that pitch just inside, ball one. And that ball hit high, but not very deep. Called for and caught by the left fielder. Stuttgart answers Mannheim's 2-run with one of their own. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors. 3 left on. The first inning is in the books. Mannheim 2, Stuttgart 1. Benjamin Kaiser. Max Leonard 2-1 to score in favor of the Mannheim Tornadoes. Jonas Werner, batting average 200 even. And first pitch in there for ball one. There's strike one. 1-1 to count. Ball two. For those of you missing Josh Wyant, no longer with the Mannheim Tornadoes. He is back with the Tübingen Hawks. That ball foul out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball high. Oh, yeah. Swing and a miss for strike number 1. Out number 1. That was, oh yeah, number 2 for Jose Mendoza. El Caballero. And that brings up Benjamin Kaiser, the catcher for today. He's batting .214 in the season. He takes that pitch high for ball 1. There's strike number 1, so saith the home plate umpire, Patrick Meister. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. As I said earlier, both these teams struggling this year. Mannheim record 1-14. Swing and a miss. Oh, yeah. Strikeout number 2. Oh, yeah. Number 3 for Jose Mendoza. Stuttgart batting average on the season, 211. Their pitching has been keeping them in most games with a team ERA of 3.81. On the other side, Mannheim batting average 192. Team ERA 7.47, but they have been playing better as of late. That pitch misses high for ball 1. Right fielder Max Leonard up to bat. He is looking for his first hit of the season. We got a couple of those guys on Stuttgart's team also. There's strike number 1, 1-1 to count. Ball lined into left field, but no problem for Jonas von Bergen. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Basically what we mean is 3 up, 3 down. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the second inning, leading off for the Stuttgart Reds, Jonas von Bergen, Giannis Weber, and leadoff man Xavi Gonzalez. Jonas, 107 batting average, did improve it a little bit from last week. He is a much better hitter than that, does have home run power, and swings at the first pitch. Pops it up to the first baseman. Who catches it? Luis Diaz pulls it in. 1 pitch, 1 out. Brings up Stuttgart's number 9 hitter, Giannis Weber. Giannis also looking for his first hit of the season, as is Max Leonard. Max didn't get his in the top of the first inning. Let's see if Giannis can get his. And he takes that pitch inside. Ball 1. And that one catches the outside corner. 1-1 to count. And a foul ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That pitch misses high. Ball 2. In the dirt. Nice block by the catcher. To no avail. Nobody's on. Nobody's running. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And that ball looks like maybe, no, not far enough. Caught by the second baseman out number 2. And that brings off leadoff man, Xavi Gonzalez. Xavi was hit by a pitch his first at bat. Pitcher for Mannheim Tornadoes, Engelhardt, did pitch last weekend. Gave up 4 runs on 4 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Only pitched 2 innings for the Tornadoes in the first game. Of course, every team doing a home and away, almost every team doing a home and away series. There's ball or strike number 1. And a ground ball up the middle, in the gap between shortstop and second base. Single for Xavi Gonzalez. He gets himself on base. See if Daniel Avalos can bring him around. Daniel struck out his first at bat. Pitcher Benini Engelhardt also pitched in game 3 of that home and away series, throwing 1 inning, gave up 1 run on 1 hit. So he was kind of busy as a pitcher last week. And that ball flies straight to the right fielder, Max Leonard. So the single by Xavi does nothing for the Stuttgart Reds. No runs on, 1 hit, no errors. 1 was left on, and we'll be right back with the top of the 3rd inning. Shout out to ADARTS 100. We would like to have the camera angle without the screen, but until the stadium is completely finished, we're not able to set up cameras anywhere else. So unfortunately, what you see is what you get. We're working on it, or Yara, the master disaster, is working on it. We're in the top of the 3rd inning, leading off for the Mannheim Tornadoes. Leadoff man, Matias Robles, 320 batting average. For him, he grounded out to Xavi Gonzalez in the 1st inning. And he takes that pitch. 4-1. Swing and a miss. 1-1 to count. That pitch on the inside corner. Hot cheese at the knee. Strike number 2. And a foul ball off the mask. And hello to Bellicus Engelhart. I'm assuming that's your son pitching for the Mannheim Tornadoes. Hello. Pitch high, 2-2 the count. If I see it right, you're all the way up in Holland watching us today, so thank you for tuning in. At pitch high, ball number 3. And foul ball, count remains full. And a ground ball. This time again, Mr. Reliable shortstop Xavi Gonzalez to first baseman Morris von Bergen for out number 1. Brings up Jack Lombardi, who walked his first at bat, ended up coming around and scoring the first run for Mannheim. Pitch misses for ball number 1. And a base hit up the middle. Safe at first is Jack Lombardi. 1 out. Runner at first, Sierra Augustine, who singled and also scored in the first inning. That pitch in there for strike number 1. We're Reds TV International. Shout out to Sergio Silberi out of Aruba tuning in. And of course, another shout out all the way to Arizona, Daniel Oblis tuning in. Reds TV International. No balls, 2 strikes to count. And that pitch just inside. 1-2 the count. Pick off fairly close, but not in time. Jack Lombardi back safe at first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And no dice getting him to chase the high fastball. 2-2. And this time caught him leaning the wrong way. Pick off for out number 2. You could see it. He was on the wrong foot. The pickoff, the swipe tag from Morris Van Bergen negates the single. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Triple deuces. Ooh, that pitch just a little bit low. Must have missed by Mukasekele. For those of you who don't understand Mukasekele, that is the smallest measurement in Germany, smaller than a gnat's hair. While in Schwabenland, I was just corrected. Must have missed by a gnat's hair or a Mukasekele. 3-2 the count. And ball foul out of play. Watch out, you guys, at the refreshment stand. Which reminds me, there is refreshments. You can have burgers, wurst, beer, soft drinks, beer, more beer. How can you not watch a baseball game without beer? Oh, yeah, foul tip for out number 3. Oh, yeah, number 4 for Jose Mendoza. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of inning number 3. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Leading off, Danielo Weber, Moritz von Bergen, Yannick Dentz. 2-1 to score in favor of the Mannheim Tornadoes. More shout-outs. Schilder Wolf Gaming out of Aruba is tuned in. That pitch up high for ball number 1. And I'm assuming Jack Lombardi's brother, father, out of Park Ridge, Illinois. So welcome to the game. Swing and a miss. 1-1 to count. Again, log in, subscribe to Reds TV so we can get 1,000 viewers or 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. That ball fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yara needs some more superpowers. The blank stare is just not bringing it anymore. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. And that pitch just a bit high, ball 2. Ball bounces into the catcher. Full count. And a foul ball keeps Daniel Weber in the batter's box. Count full. And that ball under the glove of the third baseman. He's unable to get it. Daniel Weber 2 for 2 so far in the game. Moritz van Bergen walked his first at bat up to bat. Again, for those of you international viewers, tomorrow's game starts our time, 1 o'clock. It is. That pitch, ball 1. So game tomorrow starts at 1 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock in the evening right now, or 5 minutes till. Daniel taking his lead at first base. 1-0 the count. Moritz van Bergen. And he fouls that one back for strike number 1. Becky Ward watching Stuttgart Reds TV in Little Rock, Arkansas. Pickoff not in time. Oh, all over the United States, all over the world, Reds TV, except for in Belarus and Russia. Runners going, and that ball fouled off the fence over the first base dugout. Runners going back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And another pickoff. Daniel Weber back in time. And that ball grounded to the shortstop. Takes a nice hop for him. And double play. Pitcher's best friend, a twin killing. 6-4, 4-3. 2 outs in 1 play. Stuttgart gets their leadoff runner on and off. 2 outs. Yannick Dent's up to bat. That pitch in there for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. And that one on the low part of the strike zone, strike number 2. Just a little bit too low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a foul ball over the net behind home plate. Again, plenty of room still to come down if you want to come down. Still plenty of baseball to go. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, game 2 of the doubleheader. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that ball lined into center field, but no problem for the center fielder. No runs and one hit, no errors, nobody left on. 3 innings complete. Score remains Mannheim 2, Stuttgart 1.
Woke up in the morning, what a beautiful day. Sun's up and you're on your way. You make me feel so fine. Water sparkling on your skin, sugar laughing as we say. Round and round we go. Ooh, life, I love you so. Na, 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 na.
Top of the 4th inning, leading off Luis Diaz, Marilyn Bendlin, Anderson Sombrano. After a shaky first inning, both pitchers so far able to bear down. 2 runs for Mannheim, 1 for Stuttgart in the first inning. Nothing since. And sorry, Becky, Dustin's not in the lineup so far today, but I'm sure he'll be in there tomorrow, so tune in. That pitch misses outside, ball 1. And a line drive into left field, all the way into the corner. Luis Diaz, stand-up double to lead off the top of the 4th inning. Marilyn Bendlin up to bat. And for some reason, I got the hiccup, so if it sounds like funny, please forgive me. Marilyn, strikeout victim, or as I like to say, oh yeah, victim in his first at bat. DHing today. And a spin move almost caught Luis Diaz on the wrong foot. But no throw, able to get back in time. And that bunt popped straight up, but not in range of the catcher, Yannick Witt. Of course, bunt plays meant to get the runner from second to third. But you got to get it down and not up. Strike number 1. And another spin move, possibly trying to get the batter to tip his hand. Of course, Moritz Funbergen playing in on the grass. Danielo Weber at third base, even with third base. And that ball hit in the air, but not very deep. Called for, caught by Yannick Dentz, not far enough. A nice strong throw by Yannick. keeps Luis Diaz at second base. F9 in the scorebooks. Anderson Zambrano, who also flew out to Yannick Dentz in the first inning, steps into the batter's box. With one out, does Mannheim's coach give his batter the bunt sign? We'll see. Did not show bunt and takes that pitch for strike number one. That curveball stays up. 1-1 to count. One ball, one strike, one out, one on. And that pitch high for ball number two. Swing and a miss, strike number two. Shout out to Stefan Rohrbeck, umpire, was out here last week umpiring the Stuttgart Reds game, watching Stuttgart Reds baseball. And that pitch just a bit high. Full count. And that ball fouled off the catcher. Looks like it might have caught him on the toe. And the obligatory umpire cleans home plate, give him a little bit of time. They got lots of padding on, but somehow, some way, that ball always finds somewhere where the padding isn't. Oh, count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Luis Diaz still at second base. And low, ball 4. Walk puts runners at first and second. He gives Stuttgart force out at every bag. Brings up Jonas Werner. Second inning strikeout victim. And coach from Mannheim wants to talk to his batter. And that pitch on the inside corner for strike number 1. Pitch number 70 for Jose Mendoza. Just a little bit high, ball 1, 1-1 to count. Inside, ball 2. And a pop-up in the infield. You see the umpires put their hands up. And for some reason, Anderson Sombrano takes off going to second base, doesn't get back in time. The umpire signaling infield fly, which means the runners do not have to run. You can if you want to. And when you do, sometimes things like that happen. Double play ends the inning, no runs on one hit. No errors, one left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the fourth inning. So Stuttgart got themselves out of trouble with a double play in the top of the fourth inning. I'm sure that runner at first base will get a stern talking to from his coach. Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning, Yannick Witt, Benedict Schaefer, Jonas van Bergen, 2-1. Still the score. And Yannick takes that pitch high and inside for ball number one. Yannick strikeout victim in his first at bat. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, 1-1 to count. And a swing and a miss, strike number two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And another swing and a miss, foul tip into the glove, out number 1 on strike number 3. Benedict Schaefer comes into the batter's box. Flew out to left field his first at bat. Stuttgart still struggling, trying to get something going. That ball fouled into the netting behind home plate. Strike number 1. And low inside, 1-1 to count. So for all those planning on traveling to baseball games tomorrow, do not forget the German Pfingst vacation started in Baden-Württemberg. Lots of traffic, so if you're planning on coming to the game, might want to leave a little early. That pitch on the outside corner, strike number 2. Plenty of room in the stadium, 650 seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And swing and a miss. 2 straight strikeouts for Baranini Engelhardt and Jonas van Bergen up to bat. Jonas flew out to first baseman Luis Diaz in the first inning, or excuse me, in the second inning. And that pitch just a little bit high, ball 1. And a ground ball scooped by the third baseman. Throw in time. 3 up, 3 down. Closes out the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Score remains Mannheim 2, Stuttgart 1. We're back for inning number 5. Leading off for the Mannheim Tornadoes, Benjamin Kaiser, Max Lehnert, Matias Robles. And still towing the rubber for the Stuttgart Reds, Jose Mendoza. First pitch, ball number 1. And that ball fouled back, 1-1 to count. A lot of baseball was played in the Bundesliga last weekend. Most teams playing a home and away doubleheader, swing and a miss, strike number 2. In the North, Paderborn able to take 3 of 4 from Hamburg. Bonn. And that ball grounded. And nice off-balance throw and nice scoop by third baseman Daniela Weber, out number 1. Brings up number 9 hitter, still looking for hit number 1 in the season, Max Lehnert. Bonn versus Köln, 4 games. Köln able to surprisingly win one of the games against last year's German champion. And Berlin and Doran split their series, each winning 2 games. That pitch in there for strike number 1. Hot cheese at the knees. Of course, if each team won 2 games, each team lost 2. And that ball fouled out of play quickly, 0-2 to count. In the South, Regensburg swept these Mannheim Tornadoes, winning all 4 games. Stuttgart, Haar wins 2 games against Stuttgart. That pitch misses low, ball 1. Of course, Stuttgart only had 2 games, or only 2 games. Hunstetten had the weekend off. And that curveball in there. Oh, yeah. Number 5, Jose Mendoza, out by window shopping. Out number 2. And leadoff man, Matias Robles, who's probably not wanting to hit it to Xavi again. He has 2 ground outs, both of them to Xavi Gonzalez. The other games, the 4-game series was Heidenheim Mainz. That pitch low and away, ball 1. And Mainz able to give Heidenheim their first 2 losses of the season. That curveball on the inside corner, 1-1 to count. Winning 1 game in Heidenheim, winning 1 game in Mainz, so those 2 split the doubleheader. That pitch too high for ball number 2. And foul ball out of play into the construction area. And I've just been told by the master of disaster, I have to say it. Triple deuces, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that ball in the dirt. Count is full. Don't forget the world's best photographer, Iris Drobny, running around here sometime wearing a Reds Attack t-shirt, taking photographs. And that ball out of the outstretched arms of second baseman Johannes Weber. Yannick Dentz tries to throw it back to first, not in time, and Mr. Robles, after 2 ground outs to Xavi, decides to go somewhere else and gets a hit. 2 outs, and that brings up Jack Lombardi. Dad Glenn watching out of Park Ridge, Illinois. That ball in the dirt for ball 1. Got to be happy with Jack's performance so far today. A walk and a run scored and a single, but unhappy that he got picked off at first base in the last at-bat. So 1 for 1 for him today. We do have 2 outs. And that ball right back to the pitcher. No problem for Jose Mendoza. Nice hustle by Jack all the way down to first base. Makes it a play a lot closer than it should have been. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th inning. Still towing the rubber for the Mannheim Tornadoes. Bernini Engelhardt, he'll be facing number 9, 1 and 2. Giannis Weber, Xavi Gonzalez, Daniel Avalos. Stuttgart needing to get some offense going. And Giannis showing bunt. Sometimes that's what you have to do to get your first hit. Pitch was too high. Ball number 1. There's strike number 1, so saith Patrick Meister. 1-1 to count. There's strike number 2. Pitch number 70 for Bernini is popped foul out of play. No, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a check swing, that ball rolling down the first base line. And just in time, nice play by the pitcher to get the speedy Giannis Weber at first base. I thought maybe he'd have his first hit, like a check swing hit, but defensively, great job. That brings off leadoff man, Mr. Reliable, Xavi Gonzalez. Xavi hit by a pitch in the first inning, scored Stuttgart's only run, had a single in the second inning, was left on the base. And he takes that pitch low. He also shows a bunt, pulls back. Stuttgart, of course, still looking for their first win in their new ballpark. That ball low for ball number 2. 2 losses against Mainz. The first 2 home games, 2 losses against Haar last weekend, 0-4 in this beautiful stadium. Perfect night to get win number 1, but they got to get some more offense going. 2-0 the count to Xavi Gonzalez. And that ball hit high, not very deep, and nobody can get a hold of it. The center fielder slipped on his way in, and the shortstop not able to get there. The left fielder not able to get there. So I would say a bloop single for Xavi Gonzalez, and he's safe at first base. And up to bat, Daniel Avalos. Daniel strikeout, flyout so far. You can't give error on somebody who slips on the field. So in my view, base hit. See what the official scorer says. And that ball hit high, but not deep enough. No problem for the right fielder, Max Leonard. He pulls it down, fly out to right field, out number 2, and Danielo Weber up to bat. So the scorer agreed with me, gave Xavi Gonzalez a hit. Danielo Weber 2 for 2. So Danielo and Xavi, the 2 batters who have been able to hit. 2 outs. Xavi at first and a pickoff. Xavi back in time. And that ball fouled. And look at those hands from third base coach Rick Jocks. Smooth as a baby's bottom the way he fielded that ball. No balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. And yes, he did, says umpire Patrick Meister. And again, Stuttgart not able to capitalize on the single. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. 5 innings complete. Score remains Mannheim 2, Stuttgart 1.
Woke up in the morning, what a beautiful day. Sun's up and you're on your way. You make me feel so fine. Water sparkling on your skin, sugar laughing as we say. Round and round we go. Ooh, life, I love you so. Na, 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 na.
Pitcher change for the Stuttgart Reds. Jose Mendoza, 5 innings, give up 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. New on the mound, Eric. Christoph so far this season used mainly out of the bullpen, does have 7.2 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 walks against 8 strikeouts, ERA of 3.52. Has 2 saves for the Stuttgart Reds. He'll be facing Agustin Teixeira, Luis Diaz, and Marilyn Bendlin. And that curveball in there for strike number 1. Agustin 1 for 2, a single and a run scored and a strikeout. And that ball line down the line, fair into the corner. Jonas van Bergen picks it up, throws it in. Stand-up double for Agustin Teixeira, leads off the 6th inning. Brings up Luis Diaz. Luis 2 for 2 with a single and a double and an RBI. That pitch misses a little low, ball one. Again, world's best photographer here is Drobny running around here taking photos. They will be uploaded on the Reds homepage sometime beginning of next week if you want to get impressions of the game. Fastball right back to the catcher. If it bounces out of his glove and he can't find it. So everybody safe. An infield single for Luis Diaz. Could have gone better. Nothing you can do about it. Runners on the corners, which means catcher Yannick Witt gives signs, letting the infield know what he's going to do. Is he going to throw to third, to second? Is he going to throw it all? Is he going to throw back to the pitcher? Marilyn Bendlin up to bat, DHing today, strikeout and fly out in right field. And he grounds the ball. Shortstop to second in time. And to first base, not in time. So on the fielder's choice, Augustine DeCero is able to score. Run number 3 for Mannheim. Out number 1 for Stuttgart. Marilyn Bendlin safe at second, or at first. Augustine DeCero crosses home plate. Luis Diaz out at second. 1 out. Run batter Anderson Zambrano flew out and walked and was caught on the infield fly and shows a bunt. Bunts it down the first base line. And called safe by first base umpire Wolfram Haupt. Very close bang-bang play there. And of course, no instant replay, so we have to trust Wolfram Haupt called the right call. It was really close, so no way to tell either way. Runners now at first and second. 1 out, and Jonas Werner. Jonas struck out and then hit an infield fly, which turned into a double play. With runners at first and second, Stuttgart would be doing good to keep only 1 run across the home plate. And that ball in the dirt. Nice stop by catcher Yannick Witt. Keeps the runners at first and second. And that ball outside, ball number 2. There's strike number 1. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Marilyn Bendlin at second. Anderson Zambrano at first. And a spin move, but no throw. Runners are going. Throw down to second. Not in time. Double stolen base for the Tornadoes. Both runners now in scoring position. Coach still being aggressive on the base paths. 3 balls, 1 strike to count to Jonas Werner. Of course, a walk Loads the bases, gives Stuttgart force out at every base. Yannick Witt, the catcher, signals infield in, which means the infielder playing on the grass, trying to keep that runner at third base. And that's ball number 4, which loads the bases, puts the double play in order. Stuttgart will play middle infield double play depth. Looks like the corners are playing in. Benjamin Kaiser up to bat, grounded to the third baseman and struck out so far. And that pitch on the inside corner for strike number 1. Swing and a miss. Looked like that pitch completely fooled Mr. Kaiser. No balls, 2 strikes. And Benjamin Kaiser calling time, taking too long to get the right pitch. He steps out, steps back in the box. And ball fouled out of play. Strike. Still at number 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. Oh, yeah. Very, very important strikeout for out number 2. Out by window shopping. That was like a Linda Ronstadt song. That ball blew by you. 2 outs. Corners moving back. Force out at every base. Up to bat, Max Lehnertz. Fly out and a strikeout for him. And he takes that pitch low part of the strike zone. Strike number 1. Of course, Max as well as Johannes Weber for the Stuttgart Reds looking for their first hit. For Mannheim, this will be a great time for Leonard. And that pitch up and in, 1-1 to count. And a line drive. Almost over the left fielder's head, but a nice jumping catch. Saves at least 2 runs. If that had got past Jonas von Bergen, that would have probably cleared the bases, but he's able to climb the ladder, grab the ball. Only 1 run for the Mannheim Tornadoes off of 2 hits. No errors, bases left full. 3-1 to score. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th inning. To keep Mannheim Down to only one run in the top of the sixth inning. Stuttgart needing to answer, and the answer starts with Moritz von Bergen, Yannick Dentz, and Yannick Witt. Moritz 0 for 1. Did walk in the first inning, grounded into a double play. Still towing the rubber for the Mannheim Tornadoes, Bernini Engelhardt. And he throws that pitch in there for strike number 1. They check. He says no, says first base umpire Wolfram Haupt. 1-1 to count. And that ball catches the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little bit of action in the bullpen for the Mannheim Tornadoes. And that ball grounded up the middle, base hit for Moritz von Bergen. Maybe this is the inning where Stuttgart gets it going. Single for Moritz, safe at first, of course. And Yannick Dentz up to bat. Yannick's walked and got an RBI from it in the first inning. Flew out to center field in the third. Standings in the Bundesliga in the north. Leading the north, the Paderborn Untouchables with a 10-6 record. And that pitch low for ball 1. They're followed by Bonn at 11-7. Hamburg Steelers, new home of Austin Hassani at 8-8. The Berlin Flamingos 6-6. Doran Wild Farmers at 7-9. And Cologne Cardinals at 6-12. So pretty close. First 2, 3 teams. Very close up there. That ball fouled out of play, 1-1 to count. Bundesliga South, Regensburg takes over the lead after winning 4 against Mannheim. They're at 12-2. Heidenheim is 11-2 because they had a rainout against Mannheim. So they could be easily 12-2 or 11-3, of course. Runners going, and that ball fouled back. So the runner stops and goes back. Third place, Mainz at 10-4. Stuttgart in fourth place at 5-7. Again, 7-game losing streak, looking for their first win in their home ballpark. They're followed by Haar at 6-4. They've rebounded greatly. Hunstetten, the team that moved up from the second league last year, is at 4-10. And Mannheim again, 1-14, playing a lot better than that record today. That ball in the dirt, gets past the catcher. No problem for Moritz von Bergen to advance to second. Takes a look to see if the catcher was hustling. Wild pitch. Moritz von Bergen in scoring position. Two balls, 2 strikes to Yannick Dentz. And time called, so no pitch. It's up to the umpire's discretion if the batter wants time. The umpire does not have to give him, in this case, does give him time. 2-2 the count. And that pitch just a little bit high, ball 3. Shout out to Bob Yost in Iowa. Thank you for tuning in. Sign up to Reds. Subscribe to Reds TV. Get your 1,000 subscribers. And a pickoff. No problem for Moritz von Bergen getting back. Get your 1,000 subscribers and maybe he'll get a positive superpower 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Moritz van Bergen standing at second, wanting to score. And that ball poked into right field. Moritz tagging up. Nice catch by the right fielder. But far enough out there for Moritz to be able to make it to third base. No sacrifice fly because the run did not score. But Moritz van Bergen standing at third base. Very, very close to scoring run number 1 or number 2 for the Stuttgart Reds. Yannick Dentz looking to break his strikeout streak today. 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. And Mannheim asking, did he go too soon? And they're throwing to second. And safe call by first base umpire Wolfram Haupt, which means no, he did not leave too soon. Moritz van Bergen 90 feet away from getting Stuttgart 1 run closer. Mannheim playing with the infield in. And that pitch, swing and a miss for Yannick. Infield in, basically trying to keep Moritz at third base, but opening up more lanes for a single. And that ball fouled into the netting. Strike number 2. And a check swing, foul ball keeps Yannick Witt in the batter's box. And another foul ball out of play. 25,000 fans in attendance trying to motivate Yannick. No balls, 2 strikes. That pitch low and away, ball number 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I'd like to throw out a shout out if he's watching. Robin Shestak, ex-player from the Stuttgart Reds. Happy birthday to you. And that pitch misses in, ball number 2. Also a shout out, I believe Rania Kratke had a birthday this week. So happy birthday to you if you're watching. And again, if you want to shout out, comments, words of wisdom, chat function is open. Subscribe to Reds TV. That pitch too high from 0-2. Now the count is 3-2. Let me know where you're watching from. We got Aruba. We got the USA. We got Germany. I believe we got somebody in Holland. And that ball popped up. And caught by Max Leonard, who gets it in time, keeps Moritz van Bergen at third base and brings up Benedict Schaefer, a fly out and a strikeout for him so far today. Oh, if he's due for a hit, this would be a good time for it. Again, tomorrow's game starts at 1 o'clock. And coach for Mannheim walking towards the mound. Let's see. Looks like he's going to his bullpen. That means the day for Bernini Engelhardt is done. He is responsible for the runner at third base. Of course, he's trying to talk his coach into letting him stay to finish up the inning. And it looks like he talked him into it. Let's see if that's a good or a bad decision. He is at 96 pitches. See if the coach's decision is good for Mannheim or good for Stuttgart. Benedict Schaefer up to bat. That ball fouled out of play. Benny hacking at the first pitch. Lights slowly coming on. Still nice weather out there. And that pitch inside, 1-1 to count. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. You're welcome, Rania. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Next pitch will be pitch number 100. And pitch number 100 for Bernini Engelhardt, high, and it's triple deuces. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Moritz von Bergen still at third base. And swing and a miss. Stuttgart not able to capitalize on the single from Moritz von Bergen. No runs on no hits, or on 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on 6 innings complete. Score remains Mannheim 3, Stuttgart 0. Stuttgart 1. Top of the 7th inning, leading off for the Mannheim Tornadoes, Matias Robles, Jack Lombardi, Augustin Cicera. 3-1 the score. Stuttgart not able to take advantage of Morris von Bergen standing on second base with no outs, standing on third base with one out, which is the theme for almost the last whole season for Stuttgart. That pitch catches the outside corner, strike number one. Stuttgart, of course, mired in a 7-game losing streak. Only 6 runs in those 7 games. Ball in the dirt. And check down to first. No, he did not go. 1-1 to count. There's strike number 2 on the top of the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shout out to you, Suan Leong. I'm sure you're rooting for the Mannheim pitcher. Ball grounded. Tough hop, but nice stop by the first baseman for out number 1. Unassisted. Morris van Bergen takes it in the gut. Runs to first base, tags first base, gets out number 1. Jack Lombardi steps into the batter's box. Base on balls, base hit, and a ground out to the pitcher. And he fouls that ball back into the net. Strike number 1. On the mound still, Christoph Erich did struggle a little bit in his first inning. Gave up 1 run on 3 hits. And that's strike number 2. 2 saves again for him so far in the season, looking for his first win, which if Stuttgart can bounce back would be his. And a line drive over the first baseman all the way into the corner in what could be Triples Alley, and he stops at second. A double for Jack Lombardi. He is 2 for 3 with a single and a double today, and brings up Augustin Teixeira, who is 2 for 3 with a single, a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored, and in between a strikeout. 1 out. Stuttgart trying a little bit of the hidden ball trick. Of course, Jack Lombardi, experienced player, I believe out of the USA. Not falling for that trick. And now time called. And the coach wants to talk to either his batter or the umpire, maybe saying something about, was that a balk? Of course, the pitcher cannot be on the rubber without having the ball in his hand. And that's why he was filling the hole at the front of the mound. Well, Jack Lombardi has to stay at second base. Augustin Teixeira in the batter's box. And he takes the first pitch for ball number 1. Fastball, nice stop by Yannick Witt. Ball number 2. There's a curveball that misses for ball number 3. Three balls, no strikes. One out runner at second base. Top of the 7th inning. And that's ball number 4. Puts another runner on first base. But gets Stuttgart the force out at every base. And Luis Diaz up to bat. Luis 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. There's strike number 1. And a ground ball foul. Quickly count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Luis Diaz. And that ball hitting the gap in left center field, goes all the way to the fence. And Lewis heading for third base because nobody seems to be covering. So triple with 2 RBIs, 5-1 the score for Stuttgart. Luis Diaz a home run away from the cycle. And 5-1 the score. Batting, Marilyn Bendlin, strikeout, flyout, safe on a fielder's choice, 0 for 3, does have an RBI. He takes that pitch on the inside corner for strike number 1. Stuttgart playing with the infield in. And that ball grounded to Xavi, who now has Diaz in a rundown. And they get him out. Marilyn Bendlin doing what he's supposed to do, advances to second base on the fielder's choice. Nice diving catch by Mr. Reliable Xavi Gonzalez. Scoreboard 6-2 to 3 for the out, or excuse me, 6-2 to 5 for out number 2. Marilyn Bendlin at second base, and up to bat Anderson Zambrano, a fly out and 2 walks for him, or a walk and a single for him. And he calls time. Got a bug in his eye. And he's a little bit late on that fastball. Strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And that pitch just on the outside, just a little bit outside. One and 1, 2 outs. And that ball popped up in the air. Long run, but no problem. Yannick Dentz catches for out number 3, but Mannheim, 2 more runs across the board on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. Score 5-1. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 7th inning. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Get you a nice cold beer, get you some popcorn, Cracker Jacks. We'll be right back.
Woke up in the morning, what a beautiful day. Sun's up and you're on your way. You make me feel so fine. Water sparkling on your skin, sugar laughing as we sing. Round and round we go. Ooh, life, I love you so. Na, 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 na.
We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's see if Jonas van Bergen, Giannis Weber, and Xavi Gonzalez can get Stuttgart back on track. Of course, the old adage, if you don't hit, you don't score. Stuttgart only 1 run on 5 hits so far in the ball game. Hats off to Bernini Engelhardt. Kept Stuttgart hitters from able to score, except for in the first inning. That pitch up and in, ball number 1. Inside, ball 2. And that catches the lowest part of the inside corner. Strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that ball hit high, but unfortunately over the wrong fence. 2-2 the count. And the off-speed pitch gets Jonas. Strikeout out number 1. Jonas 0 for 3. 0 for 2 is Giannis Weber. Fly out and a ground out to the pitcher. Almost had his first hit of the season, but a nice play by the pitcher. Gets him a first. Still looking for his first hit, which I've already said 3 times. And it's not going to be swinging like that. Way out in front on the off-speed pitch. No balls, 1 strike. That ball in the dirt. Gets past the catcher. 1-1 to count. And a foul ball off the mask of the catcher. And again, that's why they wear those things. 1 ball, 2 strikes. that pitch too low, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one out. And that one on the inside corner, out looking. Strikeout for out number 2. Xavi Gonzalez, leadoff man. 2 for 2 with a hit by pitch, has scored Stuttgart's only run up to bat. And he takes that pitch in there for strike number 1. And a ground ball foul, strike number 2. 113 pitches now for Mr. Engelhardt. And that ball in the dirt gets past the catcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that ball fouled down the third base line. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. Bernini Engelhardt strikes out the side in the bottom of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 7 innings in the books. Mannheim 5, Stuttgart 1. Top of the 8th inning, leading off for Mannheim, Jonas Werner. He takes that pitch in there for a strike. He'll be followed by Benjamin Kaiser, Max Leonard. Stuttgart unable to score in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3 strikeouts for Bernini Engelhardt. Done a good job for the Mannheim Tornadoes. That pitch high, 1-1 to count. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2. Oh, yeah. Gets him to chase the high fastball. Strikeout. Leads off the top of the eighth inning. Brings up Benjamin Kaiser. Benjamin, strikeout. Ground out strikeout so far for him today. And that pitch, strike number 1. Mannheim, top half of the lineup, doing all the damage. The number 2 and number 3 hitters have scored all 5 runs for Mannheim. There's quickly an 0-2 count. And that ball over the first baseman's head into right field. Yannick Dentz keeps it to a single. Runner at first base. 1 out, Max Leonard. Up to bat, 0 for 3 so far today. And runners going. Throw down in time, and Mac gets into a rundown, slips, falls, and gets tagged out. Caught stealing. 2, 4, 2, 3. I do not know why he stopped. But Stuttgart will take the easy out. Out number 2. 1 ball on the batter. That's ball number 2. Three and 0. And a 4-pitch walk puts Max Leonard on first base and brings up leadoff man Matias Robles. 1 for 4 with a single. 3 ground outs. And high for ball number 1. No activity in the Stuttgart bullpen, or in the Mannheim bullpen for that matter. And that ball hit, twisting, just foul, all the way into triple Zolly. That would have been at least a double. But nothing but a long strike. 1-1 to count. Now we got Max Leonard tired. He has to go all the way back to first. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning, 5-1 the score. And a check swing, and that ball is fair. And it rolls the first base. The pitcher who decides, let me get my put out. Nothing that Matias Robles could have done. No runs on one hit, no errors, one left on. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. Bottom of the 8th inning, Daniel Aviles, Danilo Weber, Moritz von Bergen. Stuttgart down to their last 6 outs. Need to get something going here. Still towing the rubber. Bernini Engelhardt, and he starts off with ball number 1. And that's ball number 2. 2 balls, no strikes. And that ball popped up in no man's land right on the pitcher's mound, and nobody able to get a hold of it. Luis Diaz makes a nice try. Pitcher does what he's supposed to do and gets the heck out of the way. He goes over and covers first base. So a bloop, bloop, bloop single for Daniel Aviles. Maybe that's the start the Stuttgart needs. Up to bat, Danilo Weber. Danilo, 2 for 3. And pitch number 120 for Mr. Engelhardt is strike number 1 for Danilo Weber. 2 for 3, and with a strikeout and 2 singles. Swing and a miss at that pitch. 1-1 to count. And activity again in the Mannheim bullpen. Sure, if Mr. Engelhardt gets into any trouble, they'll be quick to bring somebody in. And that ball blocked by the catcher. Runner goes. And on the wild pitch, Daniel Aviles able to get to second base. In scoring position. Ground ball down the third base line. Nice backhand stab by the third baseman. Augustine Teixeira gets Danilo Weber out at first base. And Abeles not able to take third on the throw. One down, Moritz von Bergen in the batter's box. Moritz 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. And that pitch up high, ball number 1. A lefty and a righty throwing in the Mannheim bullpen. Nobody in Stuttgart bullpen. And that ball up the middle, base hit. Daniel Abeles rounding third base. Throw coming home, but way overthrown. And on the throw, Moritz von Bergen able to advance to second base. So single and an RBI for Moritz von Bergen. Stuttgart scores their second run of the ball game. And the stadium announcers starting to go a little nuts. Yannick Dentz up to bat. Runner at second base. 1 out. Stuttgart. 1 run across the board in the inning. Mannheim coach still in the dugout. See if he lets his pitcher continue. 125 pitches in. And that pitch misses low, ball 1. Yeah, I think 2 flyouts and a walk with an RBI. That pitch on the outside corner, 1-1 to count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on second base. Stuttgart showing a little bit of life in the 8th inning. 1 run across so far. And that ball hit high in the air. And nobody can get a hold of it, but the ball is foul. So that is strike number 2 for Yannick Dentz. Nice try by Max Leonard. Luis Diaz. And of course Anderson Zambrano, but nobody able to get that ball. Yannick will take that long strike. Strike number 2. And that pitch over the top of the head of Yannick Dentz. Moritz von Bergen thought about going to third, but put on the brakes, went back to second. 2-2 the count. And time called. Yannick Dentz got a finger in his eye. So 2-2 the count. 1 out. Moritz Weinbergen wanting to leave second base, going towards third and home. And that ball, line drive into left field. And the left fielder can't come up with it cleanly, makes the throw home. And Yannick Dentz and Moritz von Bergen trading places. Stuttgart scores their second run. And signs of life building. Oh, on the single from Yannick Dentz, Moritz von Bergen able to score. Yannick Dentz on the throw home, takes second base on the fielder's choice. And the coach from Mannheim taking the walk out of the dugout. Let's see what he's going to do with this pitcher. He's done a great job since then, but he's about 135 pitches in, 130 pitches in. And that's it. So great job for Benjamin Engelhardt. He is responsible for the runner at second base. He goes 7 1/3 innings, gives up 8 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned. Two walks against 9 strikeouts. A new pitcher for Mannheim. New pitcher on the mound for Mannheim is Tom Adler. He's thrown 16.2 innings, 10 earned runs, 18 walks against 15 strikeouts. Has an ERA for 5.4. He'll be facing Yannick Dentz at second base. And that pitch misses high, ball number 1. Stuttgart already pushed 2 runs across the board, making the score 5-3, looking to get some more. And that pitch on the inside corner, strike number 1. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yannick not having a very good day at the plate. He's got 2 strikeouts and a fly out to right field. And that ball fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And another foul ball. We got the BGs going on. He's staying alive. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. And that pitch inside, 2-2. And that ball in the dirt. Yannick Dent's able to make it to third base on the wild pitch. 90 feet away. And from 1-2, it's now a 3-2 count to Yannick Witt. And Mannheim electing to play with the infield back. Trying to get the out and eventually concede the run to make it 5-4. And that pitch outside for ball number 4. Runners on the corners. Oh, the tying run at first. And in the batter's box for Stuttgart is Benedict Schaefer. Runners on the corners. Let's see what Coach Rick Jocks decides to do. Does he let Yannick Witt take off to second base? And Benny swinging at the first pitch, fouls it off. 1 strike. That pitch too high. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that ball in the dirt gets past the catcher. Yannick Witt able to get to second. Yannick Dent's not able to pick up the ball. Now we have runners at second and third. 1 out. 2-1 count. Now Mannheim playing with the infield in. And that's ball number 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Another arm warming up in the bullpen for the Mannheim Tornadoes. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners at second and third. Stuttgart 2 runs in the inning, 5-3 the score. And that pitch on the outside corner, strike number 2. Oh, Benedict Schaefer calls time, takes a deep breath, and steps back into the batter's box. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And that ball is low for ball number 4, loads the bases. And a pinch hitter comes in for Stuttgart by the name of, and there comes the coach from the dugout onto the mound. So Fabian Beck in as a pinch hitter, takes the place of Jonas van Bergen. And a discussion between the coaches and the umpire. Coach and the umpire. Can he not change the pitcher? What's the word? As soon as we find out, we'll let you know. Bases loaded, 1 out. So after a long discussion, Tom Adler stays on the mound. Fabian Beck comes in to hit for Jonas van Bergen. Bases full of Reds with 1 out. And Fabian takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. And a ground ball caught by the second baseman, throw to first base. And just what the doctor ordered for the Mannheim Tornadoes, a double play ends the inning. Stuttgart does put 2 runs across the board on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left on. We'll be right back with the top of the 9th and possible final inning.
up and you're on your way. You make me feel so fine. Water sparkling on your skin, sugar laughing as we say, round and round and round we go. Ooh, life, I love you so. Na, 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 na.
All right, folks, we're in the ninth inning. Stuttgart puts 2 runs across the board to make it close. 5-3 the score. Leading off for the Mannheim Tornadoes, Jack Lombardi, Augustine Teixeira, Luis Diaz, those who have done all the damage for Mannheim. That pitch down low, ball 1. Jack 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And that ball drilled into right field, but right at Yannick Dentz. Caught for out number 1. And that brings up Augustine Teixeira. Augustine 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored, a double and a single. One quick out for pitcher Christoph Ehrlich. That pitch just high, ball 1. And that ball fouled back, 1-1 to count. Off-speed pitch had him way out in front. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, tomorrow's second game of the doubleheader at 1 o'clock here in the Reds ballpark. That ball fouled back. Other games in the north, Saturday, Cologne and Hamburg playing a doubleheader. That means 2 times 7 innings. Berlin and Bonn are playing Saturday, Sunday. Paderborn and Dorn also playing Saturday and Sunday. Ball 2. In the south, besides the Stuttgart game on Sunday, Haar versus Heidenheim on Monday, Heidenheim versus Haar. So a split doubleheader, a home and away. Not very much baseball going on, but enough for you can watch it. That pitch high, full count. Our game tomorrow will be broadcast on Reds TV. Subscribe to Reds TV. Get your 1,000 subscribers, and he'll be very happy. Might even buy me a Christmas present. And that ball hit high in the air. Yannick Dentz camping under it and brings it down for out number 2. Luis Diaz up to bat. Lewis 4 for 4 with a single, 2 singles, a double, and a triple, 3 RBIs. So he's done almost all the damage for Mannheim. Home run shy of a cycle. And that ball popped up in the infield and dropped by Danilo Weber. Sometimes when them balls get above the lights, it's hard. So he's safe on an error. And Marilyn Benlin comes up to bat. 0 for 4, safe twice on a fielder's choice. A strikeout and a flyout. Let's hope the error doesn't cost Stuttgart. There's strike number 1 by Christoph. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. That was pitch number 60 for Chris Eric. Oh, yeah! Strikeout! Ends the top of the 9th inning. No runs on no hits, 1 error, 1 left on. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 9th inning. Stuttgart down to their last 3 outs. Three outs to go. Stepping in the batter's box, another pitch hitter for the Stuttgart Reds. Ramon Uhl coming in for Giannis Weber. Coach Jocks trying to get something going, brings in Ramon Uhl, 176 batting average. And the first pitch on the top of the strike zone, strike number 1. Ramon, number 9 batter, and then leadoff man, Xavi Gonzalez, David Aviles. That pitch low, 1-1 to count. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that pitch misses in. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 9th inning. Stuttgart needing 2 runs to tie. Give us bonus baseball. 3 runs to win. Anything less than 2 runs and ball game win for Mannheim. And that ball too far outside. A walk. brings up the tying run to home plate in the name of Xavi Gonzalez. And out of the dugout comes Mannheim's coach. Signals to his bullpen, so it looks like we got somebody coming in to pitch, taking Tom Adler's spot. Tom Adler goes 2/3 of an inning, does have 3 walks, 21 pitches, 10 for strikes. He is responsible for the runner at first base in the name of Ramon Ull. As soon as we find out who's pitching, we'll let you know. Okay, new pitcher for the Mannheim Tornadoes. Feliz Vargas, 19.1 innings pitched, 15 earned runs, 25 walks against 12 strikeouts, ERA from just under 7 at 6.98. First batter he'll be facing Xavi Gonzalez, who is the tying run. Ramon Ull standing at first base. 5-3 the score in favor of Mannheim. Bottom of the 9th inning. And that pitch low and in, ball number 1. And a long look from the pitcher to the catcher. Too long for Xavi. Calls time. Back in the box. And that pitch on the top of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. So I said at the beginning, I want a full house. We got that on the first night. I want beautiful weather. We got that today. And I want to walk off That off-speed pitch, Xavi way out in front, swing and a miss, strike number 2. Can we get my third wish, a walk-off tonight, so I can go get me a cheer beer instead of a frustration beer? 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Ramon Newell standing at first base. The 20-plus thousand fans in attendance all cheering their Stuttgart Reds on. And that ball hits Xavi, puts runners at first and second. And up to bat, Daniel Abeles. Daniel is 1 for 5, had a single his last at bat. He is the winning run. And the coach from Mannheim asking, did he turn into the pitch? And the 20,000 plus fans letting the coach know what they think of that. And we'll see how long Patrick Meiser lets the conversation go in the major leagues. He'd already be gone. So infield fly rule on, that means a pop-up in the infield that can be caught by an infielder is an automatic out. We've already seen that 1 time today. First and second, no outs. Daniel Abeles up to bat. And he takes that pitch just a little bit high, ball number 1. Daniel takes a deep breath, steps back in the box. 1-0 the count. There's strike number 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Ramon Newell at second. Xavi Gonzalez at first. Xavi Gonzalez, of course, the tying run. And that pitch catches the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Can Stuttgart pull the win? And that ground ball, throw to second. They get the runner at second. No chance to get the runner at first. 5-4 on the put out. Runners at first and third. 1 out. Danilo Weber steps into the batter's box. Let's see if Coach Jocks puts Abeles in motion. Danilo Weber, of course, 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a strikeout, and a ground out. And Luis Diaz not holding Abeles on at first base. And out of the dugout, step off. And now it looks like Luis Diaz will be holding Abeles on. Of course, if you don't hold him on, that's almost a sheer stolen base. Even I could probably make that. No, I couldn't. That pitch just a little bit high and inside, ball 1. That's strike number one. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher. Keeps Daniel Aviles at first. Keeps Ramon Uhl at third. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that ball fouled out of play. 2-2. Check down. No, he did not go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Next batter up would be Moritz van Bergen. And that pitch inside loads the bases and brings Mighty Mo up to bat. Stuttgart still needing 2 runs to tie, 3 runs to win. And Moritz van Bergen up to bat. Coach Rick Jocks calling time. Thought maybe he wanted to put in a pinch runner. We do have 1 out. Bases loaded. Moritz van Bergen up to bat. Tying run at second, winning run at first. And Moritz takes a mighty hack, fouls it back. Strike number 1. And that ball fouls straight back. Strike number 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Seems like Moritz trying to win the ball game on his own. We wouldn't complain about that, would we, Yara? No balls, 2 strikes. And that hit him and brings in run number 4 for Stuttgart. A hit by pitch with an 0-2 count. RBI for Moritz van Bergen. Stuttgart needs 1 more run for bonus baseball. 2 more runs for that walk-off that I've been wanting for a long time. Yannick Dentz, the next batter. Yannick swings and misses at the first pitch. Stuttgart 5-4, down by 1 run. Bases loaded with 1 out. And that pitch misses outside. 1-1 to count. Nobody throwing in the bullpen from the Mannheim Tornadoes. That means it's his game to win or lose. And that pitch inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. No place to put Yannick. Put him on the base, that means a runner scores. That ball fouled back into the net. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And just so you know, Becky, be ready. It looks like Dustin's in the on-deck circle. And time called. 2-2 the count. And that ball hit into the gap, into right center field. And on his tails is Giannis. Finally a walk-off single for Yannick Dentz. 2 runs across the board. Stuttgart comes all the way back from a 5-1 deficit to finally get their first home win of the season in their new ballpark. Congratulations to Yannick Dentz. A walk-off single with 2 RBIs, Stuttgart. Final score, Mannheim 5 runs on 11 hits with 1 error. Stuttgart 6 runs on 9 hits with 1 error. Congratulations, boys. Now I can go get my cheer beer. Tomorrow, 1300 hours, 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock for all you not military people. Game 2 of the doubleheader. 20,000 plus fans standing and cheering the Stuttgart Reds. Finally able to break that streak. Congratulations, Chris Eric. His first win of the season. On behalf of Yara Drobny, my name is Ken Hudson, the voice of Reds TV. Finally, the win has come home to Stuttgart.